Hello everyone, I'm your host, Boss Zombie. Welcome back to The Elder Scrolls Online. It's time to take care of Bastion's quests. I am recording, right? Yes.
A messenger just brought me this letter. It's from my foster brother Quisley, of all people. I wasn't even sure he could write legibly. And I have to say, I'm not sure what to make of it.
What does the letter say?
Quisley wants me to come to Daggerfall. He was even sort of polite about it. He says he needs my help with a personal problem. Which, of course, is no great surprise. But he offered an intriguing form of payment.
What kind of intriguing payment?
He says he found an old letter in Lord Sylvel's study. A letter about my mother. She died when I was very young, and I'm not sure how exactly she knew the Sylvels. But I want to know more. What do you think about a trip to Daggerfall?
Sure.
Here. You can read the letter for yourself, if you're curious. I wonder what sort of mess Quisley's managed to get himself into this time.
Quiz only reaches out to you when he's in trouble.
I've seen it 100 times. All of the Sylvels have a way of warming up when they need me to do something for them. Offering something of value for my help? Something about my mother? That's new.
What do you remember about your mother?
Not much, I'm afraid. I was very young. But I've always wondered why she left me with the Sylvels. They weren't related to her or my father. I never found a satisfactory answer as to how or why I ended up with them.
What did the Savels tell you?
Only that I had no family left, and I should be grateful that they took me in. In time, I learned that my father was the last of the Halixes. My mother, though. I asked Lord Sylvel about her family a time or two, but he never said much.
Could Quisley be lying?
He could, but he knows I would break his bloody nose. No, Quisley got himself into some new trouble, so he went looking for something he knew I'd want. And he's right, damn it. What has Lord Sylvel been keeping from me?
Let's get going.
You'll be in the Rosy Lion. It's his home away from home.
Oh, well there's an inn room right there. Glenumbra. Yep. And outside the Rosy Lion, please. Daggerfall discovered.
I saw smoke off toward Dellen's mill. Something terrible must have happened there.
He must be upstairs. Is he hanging out next to the tribute players? Wait.
Ah, there you are. I knew you'd
Oh,
come.
they're over
I'm here,
there.
Quisley. What do you want? And what do you have for me?
What am I thinking of?
Easy,
Maybe that's
Bastian. You seem a
Rivenspire.
bit irritated. Why don't I talk to your reasonable friend here?
Now just... Fine. That's probably for the best.
Does Quisley have the same voice actor as Zaji?
I remember you. It's fortunate that you're here. I have some information that may make Bastian angry, even though it's not my fault. However, I need help with a personal matter first. Perhaps a deal is in order?
What do you need from Bastion?
I am betrothed. An arranged match, but a rather good one. I have a Sylvel heirloom, a ring to present to my affianced. Or rather, I had it. While enjoying the end of my bachelorhood, well, lost it gambling. I need that ring back.
Where's the ring?
I lost it to a woman named Granetta. She's with the bandits who hide out at Ilasan Tower. If you and Bastian find her, you'll find the ring. In return, I'll give him the old letter my father kept from him. It's from a Halix family servant.
Hold on, I gotta check this. Why doesn't it list Zaji? Quisley Savell. They might be a little different, but there's some very similar inflections. No. Yeah, it says Benjamin Diskin. Ben Diskin, I guess. One article saying he voices Zaji, another article saying he voices Quisly, and then someone else said he also voices the Augur of the Obscure. Your father withheld information about his family from Bastion?
I had nothing to do with that. I just found the letter while searching for a little gold to buy back the ring. But if it motivates Bastion to help me out, then we both win. Go get the ring. I'll meet you nearby and give Bastion the letter then.
Very well, I'll go to the tower and find the ring.
I know Bastion and I haven't always gotten along, but I don't want to jeopardize this arrangement. My bride-to-be is from a very good family. I'm turning over a new leaf, I swear it. I won't need Bastion's help in the future.
A new leaf?
Well, I feel that my misdeeds have been exaggerated, but my father has made it clear that if I were to damage our new alliance with the Bouchent family through my youthful indiscretions, well, I have cousins who could inherit in my place.
Do you care for your bride-to-be, or is it just an alliance?
To be frank, it's an alliance. The Bouchents have their concerns, thanks to many baseless slanders about me, but the advantages to both families are significant. I am fond of Morian, though. I want her to think well of me.
Exaggerated? You're using a letter that isn't yours to make Bastion help you.
And risking my father's anger by meddling in business he did not want to come to light. If it weren't for me, Bastion would never even know that letter existed. Let's just say I'm being practical for once.
Yeah, that's
Alyssa on
definitely the
tower?
same voice actor Zaji.
Fine, let's be on our way. Quickly, before I'm tempted to beat some sense into Quisly.
Ooh, now I'm thinking about the epilogue for Fires. Can I do the... Oh, I'd have to do the whole story. I'm just considering. I'm weighing options. Why would I want to kill that poor chicken? What? Oh, because I gave him a custom horse. Right. I opened my crown crates and I got a fancy horse out of one of them. Because I think it was... I think it was the Akaviri crates that I got 2 of from a Twitch promotion, so I was just like, alright. And one of them had a gold rarity horse, so...
This looks like the place Quisly told us about.
That's not what your
Hold on.
subtitles say.
Let's talk before we go in.
Oh.
Remember, rooting out a nest of bandits is a secondary concern today. We just need to find this Granetta and convince her to give back the Sylvel heirloom ring. One way or another. Then we'll see what Quisly found.
Didn't the Sylvels tell you anything about your family?
I heard plenty about my father's treason. I think the Sylvels wanted me to understand how fortunate I was that they took me in. About my mother? The Sylvels only said she died of shame. Oh, and I had an older sister, who died too.
What are you hoping to learn from this letter?
It may sound foolish, but I'd dearly like to know why my mother decided to send me to the Sylvels. We're not even related. And I want to know more about how she and my sister died. Shame usually isn't fatal.
Let's see if we can find that ring.
Did I ever tell you that I once found Quisly in a brothel, with his leg manacled to a bed? I didn't enjoy explaining that one to his parents.
Oh, Quisly. Oh, this place. Which event is it that this place is very relevant? Is it Jester's Festival? Yeah, it's Jester's Festival. You used to come here into this delve and start looting rook bandits to get, I think it's stuff for fireworks.
Our next job better bring a lot of gold.
I wish they would change that. It's quite annoying. I have to break my habit of looting things. Don't loot. Do not loot. Just keep going and don't loot. I guess we don't have to worry about bartering. Grenetta's journal. I'm reinventing Granada fast. What? Oops. She was about to turn over a new leaf.
Well, it looks like Quisly's in luck. The ring is still here. Better be outside with my letter.
Oh, he is just right outside. Okay, I was about to fast travel, but if he's just outside, I'll walk. It is a little annoying that I can't use my the carve, cleave, whatever, because you get the damage shields from that one. Oh well.
Over here! Did you find it?
Why can't I speak to him?
We found your ring. Now give me my letter.
Ring first, please. I wouldn't put it past you to take it straight to Father and make me get it from him.
Put it past me? I keep my word, Quisley. But deal with my comrade if it makes you feel better.
He has a point.
I thought I'd wait out here, out of sight from the scoundrels who hide in that old tower. I really need that ring back. I'm supposed to present it to my betrothed at a gathering tonight. Do you have it?
We found the ring. Do you have Bastion's letter?
I brought it. I wouldn't go back on my word. Don't you make that face at me, Bastion. Look, I don't want to disappoint Morianne, and I've promised my parents that I won't. This is the last time I wish to involve Bastion in my affairs.
Here's the ring.
None the worse for its travels, thank the gods. Bastion's letter is right there. I can't tell you why my father held on to it. So, Bastion, you should have no quarrel with me. I think this successfully concludes our business.
Do you know anything more about why your parents took in Bastion?
I never gave it much thought, to be honest. My father only said it was an obligation, and that Sylvels should live up to their obligations. I was angry about it at times. Some days I resented Bastion's presence in our house.
Resented? Why?
Isn't it obvious? Bastion never got into trouble. When I didn't study, my parents would point at Bastion and ask why I couldn't be more like him. I thought they cared more for him than for me, until my father took me aside and explained things.
Explain things? What things?
That Bastion was not a Sylvel and never would be. My parents saw to his needs, and when he was grown, they gave him important work in looking after the family's business interests. I would expect more gratitude on his part, frankly.
Ugh.
Why would Lord Sylvel keep a letter intended for me? Read it, would you? If it's some sort of terrible news, at least you can break it to me gently.
Okay. Quest item? No. What? Oh. How do I... Oh, it's just on the rock. Dear Master Bastion, I hope you remember me, but by my reckoning, you would be about 15 now, nearly fully grown. You were very small when I last saw you, but I have thought of you often over the years. I was a servant to your lady mother from the days before she married your late father. I also cared for you for a time after your mother passed away. I brought you to House Sylvel in Daggerfall, and I worked for them for a few months, but I was forced to leave when you were still quite young. I want you to know that you were your lady mother's main care and concern, even when she grew very ill and knew she was dying. She set aside jewels from her own dowry to provide you with funds of education and such. She asked me to take you to live with your sister as soon as we were allowed to leave House Sylvel. Clarine is quite a bit older than you, and she was already married when your father was disgraced, but somehow it seems Sylvels were given charge of you instead. I asked several times when your journey would continue, but never got a satisfactory answer soon after I was dismissed. I now reside in the village of Redfur, where I work at the Hardy Horver Inn. I have some family in Grotwood, and I'm comfortable enough these days. If you would write to me there, if you're ever traveling this part of the world, it would do me a sight of good to see or hear from you and know that you are well. With care and fondness, Inaliath. Hey, so, good news, bad news.
You don't look horrified, so I suppose I should screw up my courage and read it for myself. Let me see it, please.
You were not forgotten by your mother, even when she was dying.
I think I remember Inaliath. A little wood elf lady. She was kind to me. Why would Lord Sylvel keep this from me? What became of my mother's jewels? Why was I not sent to my sister?
Didn't you say your sister was dead?
That's what I was told, but I don't understand. Clearly, my sister was alive at the time my mother told Inaliath to take me to her. Did she die before we left Daggerfall? I need to go to Redford Trading Post in Grotwood. Inaliath might have answers.
I'll go with you.
This all would have been much easier if Lord Sylvel hadn't concealed so much from me. I imagine he'd say that he did it for my own good, but I admit, I've got some ugly suspicions about his motives. What game was he playing?
What exactly happened to your parents again?
My father was Lord Martel Hallex, and he was a traitor to the crown.
A traitor?
He was a trusted advisor to High King Emmerich. But when I was only 2, he plotted to arrange the king's murder and assume power. My father was found out, though. The king had him executed, and stripped House Hallex of its lands and titles.
What about your mother?
She was questioned rigorously, but the king's agents couldn't prove that she knew anything of my father's plot. Emmerich spared her life, but the shame of the whole affair broke her heart, or so I've been told. She died shortly afterward.
Horse? You know, come to think of it, I didn't even pay any mind, but did I pass another player? I think I did before at one point. Okay, so Redford, that's Grotwood. And nowhere near anything besides Gorner. I don't even think this is going to be fast because the terrain is kind of funky to navigate there. Oh, damn it, I didn't mean to move. Do PTS characters reset every week, or is it every session? Like,
Right behind you, partner.
whenever they reopen the PTS, it's all reset. I think that's how it works, right? It wouldn't make sense to reset. Oop, chest. It wouldn't make sense to reset it every week. Because then how could people reliably keep testing things? They'd have to keep recreating characters. Yeah, it must be... I'll have to explore the avenue. Oh, this is what I was worried about. There's no easy navigation. Oh, actually, you know, I was just thinking about something because I was looking at my goat, or my ram. I don't even know what it would be considered under. Actually, wouldn't it be just DLC? How come they don't let you test the collector's edition for the DLC? Because it comes with, there's a mount and a pet, right? And I think the mount is like a... Oh, this is annoying to get to. I think the mount was a Kagudi made of like obsidian stone or something crazy like that. I guess they don't need... the crown stuff is so thoroughly... Crown store stuff is usually so thoroughly tested. I guess they don't really need to examine it. Also, I think it's just a reskin or retexturing of the Frost Atronach Kaguti? Kaguti? I don't know how to say those. The thing that looks like a Gwar but scarier. And has no arms. It's just a big scary triangle head. But I think it's just a, like, Blackstone version.
I guess we should just ask around? Someone must know Inaliath.
Of the Frost Atronach version.
Inventory and deliveries do not get sorted by themselves. This one is rather busy.
We're looking for Inaliath. Does she work at this inn?
Inaliath? You are several weeks too late. Poor thing. Veza was not here when it happened. Nellor the innkeeper found coins missing and blamed Inaliath. Sent her off just like that, after Inaliath worked here for years. She would never steal.
Do you know where she went? We need to find her.
She went into the woods. The wood elves, they love their trees. But Inaliath is not young anymore. This one worries. Veza thinks she made camp somewhere south of the village.
Okay. This seems like an unnecessary step in a quest. could have just had a trail to follow or
Search
something
my
like that.
packs. You will find nothing. This one is innocent. Tell her to go on.
Monkey! Monkeys. Any dialogue between you two? No? Hello, miss.
I may not be as spry as I once was, but I am still good with a bow, and I know this part of the Grotwood better than most. I can look out for myself if I need to.
My friend is Bastion Halix. Are you the Inaliath who once worked for the Halixes?
Bastion! That little lad grown to such a big man. I have wondered and worried about him for so many years. Leaving him with the Savels never sat right with me. He should have been sent to his sister in Wayrest.
He was told that his sister had died.
That wasn't true. Clarine married Count Orzin of Wayrest. Just last year I asked a traveller from Stormhaven about them. He told me the Orzins and their children were well. Are you saying that poor Bastion was never sent to her?
No, the Sylvels took him in and raised him.
That was not what his lady mother wanted. Knowing that Bastion still had his sister was a comfort to her in her last days. And what of the jewels she provided? What did Lord Sylvel do with Bastion's fortune? Disgraceful. Why, you poor lad.
Why did you bring Bastion to the Sylvels instead of going straight to Wayrest?
The king's officials thought Lady Clarine might be disloyal too. They commanded me to take young Bastion to the house of a minor lord and keep him there for a few months until they were sure she had nothing to do with Lord Halix's treason.
The king told the Sylvels to take in Bastion?
Someone in his court did. The Sylvels had a young lad of their own. They were close at hand, and there were no doubts about their loyalties. Lord Sylvel wasn't terribly happy about it, but he agreed to put up Bastion until things got sorted out.
What became of the jewels Lady Halix sent with Bastion?
Lord Sylvel took them for safekeeping. He was supposed to send them with Bastion to Lady Clarine when the time came. But I don't know what happened after I was dismissed.
What did the Sylvels tell you when they dismissed you?
Lord Sylvel said that Bastion would be cared for and wouldn't be my worry any longer. And he hinted that the king's officials had suspicions about some of us who served the Halixes. I'm ashamed to say that I took his gold and ran for home.
So, again, good news, bad news.
Oh, my little lord. It does my heart good to see you
Again,
grown
difficulty
well.
looking each other in the eyes.
I do remember you. Is what you say true? I was to be sent to my sister and her family?
Your mother insisted on it. She wanted you to be with your kin. Why that never happened, I don't know.
I don't even
That is a
remember why it
mystery
didn't
I want to
happen.
solve. I need to speak to my friend here first, but I have so many questions for you. All these years, I assumed my mother had preferred to die instead of living with her disgrace, even if that meant leaving a small child alone in the world. But she didn't. And the sister I thought was dead is alive? I am stunned.
What do you make of all this, Bastion?
I feel relieved, I suppose, and confused. It's strange. My mother made arrangements for me. I wasn't just forgotten. Why did Lord Sylvel ignore her wishes? Was it simple greed? Or did something else happen?
What about your sister?
I want to meet her, of course. But I wonder if perhaps she didn't want a tie to our disgraced family. Or maybe she didn't want to be burdened with a child to raise. I need to think. I don't want to just appear on her doorstep, you know?
You know that talking to your sister may be the only way to get the answers you're looking for.
I do. Unraveling my past has long been a dream of mine. But I have to admit, I never expected to feel so, well, nervous about finding out how I came to be where I was raised. I couldn't have done this without you. Thank you. I've been thinking about my sister, Clarine. Why would Lord Sylvel tell me she was dead all those years ago? Why didn't I end up with her after my mother's death? I think it's time to get some answers. I'm missing some part of the story.
What is it you want to do?
Now that I know Clarine is alive, I want to meet her. I don't hold any high expectations, but I need some answers. I want to begin by calling on her husband, Count Ozin. He's a well-known noble who often visits Wayrest on the realm's business.
Why go through him?
Clarine has had decades to reach out to me. Either she doesn't know I'm alive, or she wants nothing to do with me. Either way,
I'm remembering
my
this
return
quest
may be
now.
unwelcome. I should approach the matter with care. Would you come to Wayrest with me?
I'll go to Wayrest and help you find
If
your
Count
sister.
Ozin's in
Or
Wayrest,
Count.
we'll probably find him at the Cloudy Dregs Inn. Visiting nobles often stay there. I hope he can tell me something. After what I've learned about my mother's last wishes, I don't know what to think.
Do you have any memories of your sister?
I don't. I know she's about 18 years older than I am. I was a late-in-life child. According to my mother's servant, Analiath, Clarine went off to marry Elmond Ozin soon after I was born. Just before the fall of House Hallex.
Wouldn't your sister have tried to find you after your mother died?
That's the question, isn't it? Why did she send me to the Sylvels? Was her own situation too precarious? Did she not want the care of a child? Or perhaps she's dead. It's possible Analiath is mistaken, and Lord Sylvel told me the truth.
I hope you find your answers. What do you know about Count Ozin, actually?
I've heard his name a time or two, usually when Lord Sylvel and his visitors got to talking about court gossip. The Ozins are a minor house with lands in the countryside of Stormhaven. Elmond Ozin is said to be respectable, at least.
Sorry, I'm just reading about something related to this. Do you think he'll meet with you?
I don't see why he wouldn't. The taint on the Hallex name makes other nobles uneasy, but that was many years ago now. Of course, if he didn't know about my mother's arrangements, he might be very surprised to learn he has a brother-in-law.
I hope you find your answers.
If Count Ozin's in Wayrest, we'll probably find him at the Cloudy Dregs Inn. Visiting nobles often stay there. I hope he can tell me something. After what I've learned about my mother's last wishes, I don't know what to think.
Okay, so Wayrest is... I forget which one. Is Wayrest... No. Was Wayrest Stormhaven? Or is that... Oh, yeah. Okay. I always get a lot of locations in Stormhaven and Rivenspire and Glenumbra all jumbled up. Like, those areas aren't... Rivenspire less so, but the other two are so kind of similar in my mind. I don't know. It's hard to differentiate.
Take pride in your work, I always say.
I've never heard a woman say that line. No. I have only heard a woman say that line, but not that voice actress. It's always like a dark elf.
Hear ye, hear ye!
You want to make some
Citizens
gold,
of War-
Walker?
Everyone shut up. I'm going in this inn.
You there. Do you bring news? Are you here to deliver a demand?
He looks upset. Maybe you should sound him out?
This isn't a very good time, stranger. Be on your way. Unless you bring some new tidings about my wife.
What's going on?
She's been captured by slavers. Clarine was on her way to visit a friend near Coglin when she was attacked. Luckily, one of her guards managed to trail the slavers to Coglin Mine. I must arrange a rescue at once. State your business swiftly.
I'm here on behalf of Bastion Hallex. He's looking for a sister.
Bastion Hallex? What? That's him over there, isn't it? Oh, he looks just like his father. I don't know how to say this, but Clarine believes he died as an infant. After her family's scandal, I thought it best to distance her from the Hallex name.
You told her Bastion was dead?
I'm afraid so. And I told the Sylvels to let Bastion believe he had no family left. It was the safest course. Are the gods punishing me now for that choice? Oh, is it my fault that Clarine... Wait, you and Hallex seem able. You can save her.
How would keeping Bastion away from his sister be safer?
After Lord Hallex's treason, some of the king's counselors argued for executing the whole family to make sure no threat to the king remained. The only way to survive was to convince the king's officials that the Hallex family no longer existed.
Surely the king's officials knew Clarine was Lord Halex's daughter.
Oh, yes, of course they did. I had to convince them that my new wife was appalled by what her father had done and repudiated the Hallex name. Not only was Clarine at risk, my own house might have fallen under suspicion of treason, too.
Were you protecting yourself or Clarine?
I don't care for your insinuation. I loved Clarine, and I feared for her life. But yes, I had my own title and family to think of. I was new to my title, and it would have been irresponsible to not consider House Ozin's safety too.
Was Lord Sylvel in on your scheme?
He had no great liking for it. He was a staunch loyalist, and took Lord Halex's plot against the High King as a personal offense. It took a rather exceptional inducement to persuade him to take in young Bastion.
What manner of inducement?
I bribed him. Lady Hallex had set aside a very substantial fortune in the form of jewels from her dowry for Bastion's education and upbringing. I suggested to Lord Sylvel that he might be a wise steward of that fortune.
Hey, so good news, bad news.
You let your own wife believe that her brother was dead?
I made the decision many years ago when I was young and new to my title, and newly married to a woman I only wanted to protect.
You left a young child with strangers! They brought me up as a glorified servant!
They were to use the funds you had to see to your education, and raise you as a gentleman.
It should have been her decision, not yours. I'm going to find my sister. For her sake, not yours.
Yep, I remember this quest now. Well, I guess there's not much left to reveal.
Count Ozin told Clarine I was dead? And he conspired with Lord Sylvel to keep me in ignorance, too? What kind of life would I have had if these cowards had just told my sister and I the truth?
The Count says he did it to protect his wife and you.
I suppose I can understand that. If the choice was telling a lie or risking the gallows for my sister, then Ozin made the right decision. It isn't cowardice to fear for someone you love. And it's clear that he fears for Clarine now.
Count Ozin said the slavers are in Coghlan Mine.
I know the place. Bandits and outlaws often lair there. I'll sort out the rest of this later, after we make sure Clarine is safe. I couldn't bear it if I got so close to finding her, only to lose her now.
Oh, it's a Coghlan Mine then.
Lord Sylvel told me more than once that I should be grateful that he didn't just drop me off at some orphanage or another. But this whole business of buried secrets and deliberate lies is infuriating, regardless of the reasons for it.
Do you believe Count Ozin's story?
It makes sense that the Count wanted to protect my sister. I could almost forgive that. But I suspect he was also interested in protecting his own good name. I can't help but wonder about the life I could have had if he'd chosen differently.
Did the Sylvels mistreat you?
No. I was much better off than if I'd been left at an orphanage. But I wasn't family, and I wasn't quite the help. If I hadn't met you, I would have spent the rest of my life looking after the Sylvels' interests without ever really belonging.
Where is Coghlan Mine? It is way over there. Okay. That way. And here we go.
This looks like the right place. I'm not the praying sort, but I'm praying my sister is unharmed. Slavers are no joke.
Yeah, yeah. I'd say that's fair. Wait. Why is it saying to go back out? Oh no, it's not. What? Why is there's like two instance markers. Or 2 directive markers. That's a... So I probably can't go that way, because that's the way out. Oh, there's a heavy sack back there.
I need it.
Get here. I'm still getting used to the timing. I'm so used to the timing on Carve or Cleave or
Taste
whatever.
our steel.
Oh, okay, I've done a lot of damage. That achievement's kind of a joke at this point. Maybe it was different at one time, but you get that so quickly once you're actually playing the game. Actually, wait, that might have just been the first rank of it. Is that how that works? I forget. Deal 1 million damage. That's, I guess, in dungeons? No, it's not. Oh, it is. Dungeon damage dispenser, so that's 10 million. Right, there's one for 1 million and 10 million, then one for healing a million to allies. Who have I been healing? I guess my allies count. Or my companions. And then that's block damage, which I got because I'm a tank most of the time.
I feel like we must be getting close. Hurry.
Light it! You won't get away with kidnapping a countess! If you had any brains, you'd flee now!
Her
Did
hair
my
is so
husband
red.
send... Oh, never mind. Let's get out of here!
Yes, ma'am. Don't mind the trail of corpses as we, vamoose.
Are you stuck or choosing to remain still?
You talking to me? Oh, she's excited. Wait. Interesting. I think there were 2 of her for a second there. That's probably fine. Let's get the hell out of here.
There's the door!
Yes, very astute, lady. I think the husband's gonna be out
I
here
can't
too.
believe that I'm free! How can I thank my gallant rescuers?
No, wait, he doesn't show up. There's still more to this quest, isn't there? Or maybe this is where it ends. I don't remember. It's I just remember it's short. It's shorter than a lot of the other quests. Why is there just a pile of... Okay.
I am Countess Clarine Ozin. I had hoped that my husband's troops would rescue me from that awful mine, but I don't recognize you. No matter, you have my deepest gratitude, strangers. How did you know where to find me?
Count Ozin told us the danger you were in.
Did he? Oh, I prayed that one of the guards had managed to get through to him. Elmond must have... That is... I'm sorry, but your companion, who is he? He looks just like someone I knew a long time ago.
My companion is Bastion Hallex.
What? How is this... Bastion? My baby brother? I thought he was dead! By the 8, of course he looks familiar. He takes after our father. Oh, excuse me, please. I am quite overcome.
He'd been told that you were dead too.
Look at him. He was so small when I left our home. Our parents were so excited to have another child so late in their marriage. Where has he been all this time? How did he come to find me now?
I'll let you two speak.
Bastion? The last time I saw you, you were only a toddler. I did not even know that you were alive.
I only just learned that you were alive. I wish I'd known sooner.
You look so much like our father, but you probably have no memories of him, do you?
Sadly, I do not. Nor you, Clarine. I would like to find out what I've missed.
I as well. Oh, I have so many questions for you. Did you know you have a niece and nephew to meet?
I would like that. And I have many questions for you, too. But first, let me speak to my friend here.
So, good news this time.
Clarine is a stranger to me, of course. But part of me feels like I know her somehow. She said I favored our father. I've always wondered about that.
Well, she appears to be pleased to find you as you are to find her.
Indeed. I confess, I was a little worried that she might not have much to say to me. After all, she's a countess, and we are strangers. Clarine seems kind, though. I like her already. That feels rather good.
She certainly seems willing to treat you as family.
Which is something the Sylvels could never do. She has a good heart, I believe. It's strange. I left the Sylvels because I wanted to find my own place in the world. Discovering a family I thought I lost? It roots you properly, so to speak.
You want to stay in Wayrest with her?
Not yet. Right now, I still want travel and adventure. Being part of my sister's family is something that will happen with time. Thank you for seeing this through. I think I'd rather face a dozen dragons than the ghosts of the past.
I thought the Count shows up here. Oh, there he is.
Clarine, are you all right? Clarine, I've been worried sick. Thank the Eight that you are all right.
All is well, Elmond. The heroes you sent succeeded, and I have something extraordinary to tell you.
I know, my dear, I know. An old wrong can be set right today. I feared for your life. I know I should have told you about Bastion, but I will earn your forgiveness, and his, I promise you.
I wonder how she takes that in stride.
I cannot thank you enough for rescuing Clarine. I know I made a dreadful mistake in the past. I promise to make it up to both Clarine and her brother. Bastion seems like a good man. I will be proud to call him brother too.
A day that started in darkness and fear has brought me a miracle beyond imagining. The loss of my family all those years ago almost broke me. To find out now that I am not the only Hallex left, I hardly know what to think. How is this possible?
What will you do now, Countess?
Sit down with Bastion and talk for days. I want to know everything about how he was raised and what family he found. Where has he been all this time? And I need to speak with my husband. Why did he tell me Bastion died? A mistake? Or not?
Count Ozin only meant to protect you.
I guessed as much. I remember the court officials who interrogated me after my father's treason. My life hung by a thread in those awful months. But it was wrong for Elmond to mislead me so. It was my family, and my decision to make.
Will you forgive your husband?
Am I upset? Yes, of course. But I understand why Elmond chose as he did. He's a good man. I only wish he'd told me sooner that my brother lived.
Bastion was fostered by the Sylvel family. He worked for them.
The Sylvels of Daggerfall? Bastion stayed with them after Mother died, but he was to be sent to us just as soon as the King's officers satisfied themselves that I had no part in my father's conspiracy. I hope they were kind to him.
He'll tell you about it. Alright, so now I've caught up on all the companions. And, I have to do some testing, but I might have some ideas for the next few episodes in the very near future. But that's it for now, so thanks for joining me. Come back, all the next stuff up real soon, but until then, bye.